Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's edition of the Fight Council meeting. I am the fight director and the head of the Fight Council, Paul Atlas, and I am joined again this week by members of the Fight Council as we will talk about all things Fight Underground in the week that was and preview the week that will be. We've seen this past week our very first Virago Division matchup, Fight Showdown number 5, between Roni Nicole, the Big Bang, and the Monster Scarlett. We were able to see that pre-fight conference as we have in the past, the big showdown between the two women, and the tension-filled pre-match, post-match interviews, as well as the post-match press conference with members of the Fight Council. But before we get into all of that, we are going to do our first Fight Council review of the evening. We are welcoming to the Fight Council Jake Garrett. Jake Garrett has been around the tri-state area for many, many years. He has worn many hats in the world of professional wrestling. He has been a competitor. He has been a booker. He has been a promoter, and Jake Garrett is a welcome addition to our Fight Council. As you can see, the Fight Council growing in leaps and bounds by the day, the who's who of professional wrestling. And I am going to start off this week's segment. He is here for the first time with us on the Fight Council meeting. Sniper, give us your thoughts on Jake Garrett joining the Fight Council.
I think it's a great addition to it. I mean, he's been around, like you said, in all aspects. So I think he'll be great in all of the divisions, and whatever he brings will be total knowledge to all the young talent we have growing in the Fight Underground.
All right. Stacy Hunter. Stacy is here with us again this week. Stacy, your thoughts on Jake Garrett?
I think Jake is a great addition to the Fight Council. He's been around forever. I think it's going to be a very strong addition.
Very good. Thank you, Stacy. Bubba Brewer, he is joining us again this week as always. Bubba, Jake Garrett, this man has pretty much done it all in the business. What do you say, buddy?
Well, I welcome Jake to Fight Council, and every time we get these veterans, their knowledge and their experience will work wonders for these up-and-coming superstars of Fight Underground. So congratulations, Jake. Welcome to the club.
All right. And rounding out tonight's council meeting, QB Blitz. QB, Jake Garrett. I know you know the man. Let's hear your thoughts.
Yeah, Jake Garrett, welcome to the council. You know, trained with Jake, wrestled Jake, been up and down the road with Jake. He's going to help out these young bucks. He's done it all. It's going to be a great addition. Welcome, my friend.
All right. And like each and every one of us has said here tonight, you know, these young guys, they got to understand you have an opportunity that you don't get in very many promotions, that you don't get in very many areas. You have such a collection on this Fight Council of minds of the business. And we are all here for the betterment of Fight Underground and the betterment of our fighters. So I'm hoping that all you young fighters are listening, and you don't take for granted the knowledge and the learning that you have before you as far as the Fight Council goes. So welcome again, Jake Garrett. Welcome addition to the Fight Council. Looking forward to hopefully hearing from him real soon. So let's get into the week that was as far as Underground Showdown number 5. Again, it was our first Virago Division matchup. Roni the Big Bang Nicole and the Monster Scarlett. And let me just say, I want to take nothing away from any of our Alpha King fighters, any of our duo fighters, but in my mind, that match already match of the year candidate as far as I was concerned. These two young women pulled out all the stops. They went at it tooth and nail. There was a lot of tension in the face-off. Scarlett, obviously, not very many words, but that cold-blooded stare. Roni Nicole, I've said it before, in my mind, she could be the face of Fight Underground. She has been all over the world, trained by Lou Marconi, trained in the dojos of Japan. And this match was unbelievable. And I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the moment in that match. I'm talking about the power bomb heard round the world. Scarlett power bombing Roni Nicole. In my mind, that was an epic moment in that match. QB Blitz, I'm going to start with you right now, buddy. What were your thoughts on everything that transpired this week between these two young ladies? Hit your mute, buddy.
I'm sorry. We kind of knew how it was going to – we knew how this was going to pan out. You know, Roni Nicole's a veteran. But Scarlett, man, what power for being, you know, young in the ring like that. In that interview, I don't know. I mean, the stare down, I think a rematch is in order. I think that's going to be world colliding rematch.
Oh, without a doubt. There's negotiations going on as we speak. And yeah, you know, Scarlett, 20 years of age. And she is so far ahead of her time. It is amazing. I'm going to kick it right now to our Virago division expert, as it will, Stacy Hunter. You spent a lot of time with these ladies. Give us your thoughts on this match. I know you've got a lot of insight here.
I said it when the match happened. The women raised the bar so high in Fight Underground. That match was amazing. Scarlett being able to pull off that power bomb, holy hell. Honest to God, that match just you're right. It is match of the year. Take nothing away from any of the guys, but the women brought it and the women showed what they are here to do.
All right, thank you, Stacy. Bubba Brewer, I know you had high hopes for some of the Virago division young ladies, and neither one of these two were originally your huge pick. But what are you thinking now after watching that?
No, they was not, Paul, and I blatantly effed that up. Roni Nicole is so special. Her interview was just awesome. She sparks her personality throughout Fight Underground. Her style in that ring, she is very fast too, and her strikes are deadly. But Scarlett, like you said, 20 years old and all power. I don't think this is the match of the year, guys. I think the rematch will be the match of the year because I don't know if a rematch can hold these two wrestlers because even the aftermath, they were getting pulled apart. It was crazy, Paul. So I'm all in about Roni Nicole. He was fired up when it went to the double count out, and she just walked out of there. She was so pissed. I like Roni Nicole, so I'm with you, Paul, on that.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it from the very beginning. Roni Nicole can be the face of Fight Underground. I've been following this young lady for better part of a year now, and she is amazing. And that's taking absolutely nothing away from Scarlett because, like I said, this young lady, for only being 20 years old, is amazing in the ring. Sniper,
she's all power.
Without a doubt. Sniper, I want to get your thoughts on the week that was here and everything that transpired between these two young ladies.
They impressed me because it's the first time I saw either one. The powerbomb, yes. Roni Nicole has the charisma and the talent with the way she presents herself. And I agree with Bubba, Roni Nicole, but the rematch is definitely going to be the match to watch.
Yeah, without a doubt. I made the statement that evening when that match went down that I would main event these two women anywhere in the country today. I would put them on as my main event. It was amazing. And the post-fight press conference, Stacy, Bubba, you guys were on there with me. I mean, the intensity of Scarlett, not a lot of words. But
she had me speechless, and I don't get speechless.
Yeah,
you've seen me fumble. I honestly, but Roni do a seminar on how to cut a promo. These guys need to sit and watch her and listen to everything that she had to say because I mean, it was perfect.
It's all about intensity, Stacy. Intensity brings it, and she brought it.
Yes, I mean, I can learn a thing or two from her.
Sure. There's no doubt these two young ladies are very passionate about Fight Underground and very passionate about it being in the Virago division. And dare I say it, I think as far as if we were to ever crown a Virago Division champion, these two young ladies got to be at the top of that ladder. Roni was very, very direct, very straight to the point with all of us about what she felt and how things went down. Again, Scarlett, not a lot of words, but man, I tell you what, the intensity that young lady brings. You saw at the end of that match, we had to have referees try to keep them apart. Roni flew off the handle a little bit in that post-fight interview, but hey, I don't blame her. I don't blame her, man. I don't blame her because come on now, with all of her experience, and I'm not saying she took Scarlett lightly, but I think with all of her experience, she maybe not was expecting Scarlett to bring so much of a fight as she did. So I think that kind of caught Roni off guard. But like she said, when I asked her about it, she said she's got to be prepared for all comers, and Roni Nicole won't make that mistake again. I can guarantee you that. Go ahead, Bubba.
Maybe it was the power, Paul. Maybe it was Scarlett's power that she just didn't realize how powerful Scarlett was. So, and she's a veteran, so she did what a veteran will do,
Right. Well, I have to agree with you. To be honest with you, I did not think Scarlett could pull off the power moves that she did. I've been watching her for a while now too, and I know she's a very intense athlete. That's obvious, but she showed a lot of power in that match. Again, I would say this one right now is in the category for match of the year. And yeah, the rematch is, I'm expecting even more from it. And yes, we are in negotiations right now trying to bring that match back. So hopefully we can get that done because I'm sure all of our fans of Fight Underground are wanting to see that match again. So
I definitely want to see that match again.
Yeah, I know that if the fans do, the council definitely does.
I watched it 3 times this week, so.
Yeah, and that's you know what? That's the type of match that you watch it and you probably notice three different things each time that was remarkable and incredible about it. So
Roni Nicole's speed, before we go to a different segment, her speed is unparalleled, Paul. She is so deceptive with her speed, and her strikes are powerful too. So I mean, it was a great match, and if people didn't watch that match, they need to watch that match.
Sure. Go to our social media platforms and check that match out. Roni Nicole, again, trained by Lou Marconi. Those of us on this council who know Lou, I know Lou probably better than most of you guys. I've been in the ring with Lou. I have been Lou's tag team partner. The man is all about speed, agility, and movement, and he taught Roni Nicole every bit of that. Plus, like I said, training in the dojos of Japan. So I think this is a match that everybody is looking forward to seeing happen again. So right now, we are going to move on to our next segment, and we released a little bit earlier today, just a few hours ago, our top in the Alpha King division, our rankings. And as we've said from day number 1 in Fight Underground, we don't care where you've been. We don't care what titles you've won. Everybody starts out 0-0. And with this past set of matches that have gone on, we've kind of got a little feeling for our Alpha Kings. And we came up with some rankings. And at the top of those rankings, pretty much almost unanimous is, the Rev Ron Hunt. He is at the top of the Alpha King division right now.
As he should be.
Yes.
Go ahead, Bob. Go ahead, Bob.
I agree with that.
No, that's just simple facts. As he should be. But I'm trying to do this. We're trying to do the Fight Council stuff. But Paul, I'm looking at the message board, and this millennial Tad Jarvis. He's just not getting it, Paul. And I'm trying to do a show, and he's busted in on the message boards. If you guys can see that, like I don't know what kind of Val you're going to buy to get in the Wheel of Fortune at Fight Underground for your second match, if you get a second match. But if you're going to sit here and start talking trash on this message board, I'm going to shut you up very quickly, kid. Okay? I'm just trying to do the stuff. And I know, kid, you're never going to beat the Rev because the Rev is my number 1 spot. So I'm sorry I went off on a tangent, Paul, but I'm looking at this stuff on this message board, and I had to say something about it.
No, hey, that's what it's all about, Bubba Brewer. That's what it's all about, man. You can shoot your mouth off all you want, and a lot of these guys shot their mouths off prior to the beginnings of these matches going down. And right now, I've been a big critic of Revs. I'm not going to lie about that, But I cast the first place vote for him without a doubt because he was the very first winner in Fight Underground. He capitalized on an opportunity. Tad Jarvis, like you said, we're going to talk about him just for a few seconds because
that's all he's worth, a few seconds.
Exactly. He did answer my challenge, but he He did not deliver.
Okay,
the Rev
now
is
we're
there,
done.
number one.
Now we're done with that. Yeah.
We're done with that. So moving along, just a quick rundown. The Rev received 19 first place council votes. Okay, Loss Prevention coming in behind him with four first place votes. Arthur MacArthur with 3, and AJ Alexander received some votes as well in there, as well as Flex Simmons. So even in defeat, some of these guys got their way, wormed their way in there. But again, number one position, Rev Ron Hunt. He is now our tops in the Alpha King. So I know you went off on that tangent a little bit, but let's bring it back in there, Bubba. And
I will.
Talk about what this is for the Rev to be ranked number one in very first rankings in Fight Underground.
Well, the Rev, if you're listening, you got a target on your front, your back, and on your sides. So and you can talk the talk and you can walk the walk. But now you got a second match coming in Fight Underground. You're going to have all opposition against you. Now you seriously have to shine, Rev. You have to put everything on the line on every match now, because you're going to be the marked man in Fight Underground with this ranking. And I believe, because I am all about the Rev, I believe that he can do it. And I'd like to know if everybody on the Fight Council actually voted for Rev. Everybody was it, and if who didn't, I'd like to know who didn't. But that's just my opinion.
There was 19 of us that voted for the Rev. That's for sure. He got 19 first place votes.
I voted for him.
I think everybody pretty much sitting here tonight had that vote in there. So
we all know
Blitz,
something that's going right.
Let's talk about that. What does this mean for the Rev Ron Hunt? Very first Fight Underground rankings, number one.
Well, the Rev did what he said he was going to do, and I think that now everybody else has to step up. And if you look at the rankings, Loss Prevention, he's one vote away from being number 3. So Rev is light years ahead of everyone. And, he preached it. He did it. Now he's going to carry it. So I think that everyone made a great decision with Rev. Number 2, it's so far behind, it's not even relevant. So I think the guys need to step up and figure out who's going to try to challenge Rev.
Okay, Stacy Hunter, let's talk about the first ever Fight Underground rankings and what this means now to the Reverend Ron Hunt to be actually the very first number 1 ranked fighter in Fight Underground.
Well, I ranked Rev as number 1. I think he deserves the number 1, but it's going to be very hard to keep that number 1 because, like Bubba said, he has a target on him, and the guys are going to be coming for him from all sides. So not only does he have to keep that, he has to keep everybody, back as well. So we're really going to see how tough Rev is.
All right, very good. Sniper, let's get your thoughts on these rankings and what it means now for Rev and where he goes from here.
I agree with everybody else. He definitely has a target, but the other rankings, those guys have to step up, prove themselves that where they got ranked, and don't underestimate the Reverend. I mean, you've seen how he is. He capitalizes really fast. So I believe Loss Prevention, he's there. He's a big guy, but big guys fall. We all know that. So we'll see how it goes in the future, but they can't underestimate anybody. They have to step it up.
Sure. And let's not forget, these are not the only guys in Fight Underground. You've seen our reveals. You've seen the challengers. There are plenty of people out there in Fight Underground right now. And, like I said before, I was one of the Rev's biggest critics and still am to this day. He took advantage of the situation. He's got himself in that position. And as I've said before, there's a lot of sizzle with this guy. I've said it before and I'll say it again. He rot the steak this time. But now he's got to keep that going. And like I've said, there's a lot of people now who are going to be gunning for Ron Hunt. So, Ron, I know you're out there watching because you watch these council meetings each and every week. Brother, look into my eyes and let me be very clear about this. You are number 1 for now. You can lose that in a blink of an eye. Do not take it lightly. Being the first only means there's nowhere to go from here but staying there or knocked down. So, Rev, congratulations on being ranked number 1 first ever Fight Underground rankings. So moving on to our next segment here, we are going to talk about our Headlock On segment, where we focus on one particular fighter. And this week we are going to focus on a fighter who is kind of has a dual role here in Fight Underground. He is a member of the council, but he is also on the active roster. He's not here for the first time in several weeks. And I'm talking about the guy with the yellow wall, Justin Idol. Justin Idol.
Is that why it's so quiet tonight?
That's why it's so quiet tonight, Bubba. Justin is not joining us this week, but we're still going to talk about him because, again, he has that dual role. He's a council member. He is also an active fighter. So he is going to be stepping into that ring.
I can't wait to see him. I can't wait to see him in the ring. Back up his big mouth. That would be just amazing as I sit here in my lovely studio. And Justin, wherever he's at tonight, like, I can't wait. And whoever, it's going to be awesome just to see him in the ring.
He's been very focused on Zeke Mercer. I know that. Kind of took exception to the fact that young Zeke chose Boomer Payne as his mentor here in Fight Underground, and that's kind of where Justin, got into that.
He's salty.
Yeah, fighting, to join the active fighters as well as be on the council. He's still heavily involved in the business as far as being a fighter. So, Stacy Hunter, I know you've known Justin for a long time. You've had a few back and forths with him on these meetings, but let's talk a little bit about this whole situation with Justin Idol.
I've had a few back and forths with Justin in the ring too. So I think I know what Justin's capable of. I know he has what it takes to, keep up with the young guys here and Fight Underground. Justin just needs to keep his temper in check because he keeps getting mad about little things, and these young guys seem to know how to set him off. And he has to keep an eye on that. He needs to watch that and not let these young guys get into his head.
Yeah, without a doubt, Justin is a 20-year pro, over 25 championships won in the tri-state area. Justin knows the ins and outs, but yeah, it seems like Zeke Mercer is a prime example of that. He asked for advice from Boomer Payne, and that got under Justin's skin. He's got to try to avoid things like that. Blitz, I know you've been down the road a little bit with Justin. What do you think about this dual role here that Justin's got going on here in Fight Underground?
I respect it because I respect Justin. Known him for a lot of years. I don't know. I want to see how he's going to hang with the young bucks. Justin was known as the aerial guy, just always unique and coming out with new moves. I think time's caught up with him, though. And some of these guys, they're going to be tough. And you're right. They've got his number because they're getting under his skin a little bit. And I think that's going to be his downfall.
Yeah, that's a valid point there. Time is the enemy of all of us. We've all had time catch up to us. That's why a lot of us are sitting here instead of being in that ring. Yeah, Bubba, you can appreciate that, brother.
Yeah. But so as I'm sitting here, and I'm going to go, and I know I'm going to make Justin mad, but I really don't really care because is he getting a match? Is he working a match, or he's going to be doing something soon, or what's he doing?
He is on the active roster, so Justin
he's on the active roster. So who is he working? Somebody? Because if he's working somebody, I'm going to take the person that he's working to beat him because he's not focused and he's focusing on other stuff, and it's not wrestling, and he might be a little winded maybe. So whoever he's working, and if it's Zeke, I'm taking Zeke because Boomer is teaching him some stuff. So I just pissed him off. I know I pissed him off.
I can guarantee you that there is a contract in the works for Justin Idol to be in the ring real soon. So we will be seeing Justin in that ring without a doubt.
Okay, good.
Is there a rider for oxygen?
Yeah, we're going to have EMTs on site for that one. That's for sure. But yeah.
Bubba, Justin just told you to shut up in the chat room.
Oh, where's he at?
Yeah.
Oh, where are you at?
Oh, maybe he's painting his wall.
Oh, he should be.
What?
Hey, I'm not knocking Justin. He's got an illustrious career in this area. But look, I only know him from doing these shows and maybe saw him here in matches there. But you know what? He runs his mouth. He never shuts up. And maybe he'll get the taste slapped out of his mouth if Zeke and him go and fight Underground, actually sign that, and then we can see. And if whatever happens, happens. But I'm not picking Justin for anything, guys. Whoever he works in the ring, it's going to be the other person. I'm telling you that right now, and you can set it in stone. So,
all right. Yeah, like we said, Justin used to be that high flyer who, used to do backflips off the rental trucks and everything else, but time is definitely not on all of our sides. Sniper.
He's driving the rental. He's driving the rental.
Now he's driving the truck, huh? Sniper, what do you think about this dual situation here with Justin Idol, being here on the council with us and being a competitor in the ring?
I've been in the ring with Justin. I've known Justin for a long time. And Justin, you're going to be mad because I'm going to piss you off, but I'm going with Bubba. He's got his temper. He's going to underestimate somebody. And then, like Bubba said, if it's Zeke's going to come up with the win over Justin first. So, Justin, control your temper. I know how you can be, but you're good in the ring. Let's see how you can prove it not being in the ring for so many years.
All right. Yeah, let me just say a little something here to Mr. Idol, because, again, obviously he's watching because he's in the chat there. Remember, Justin, when you worked at Wiley vet by the name of Paul Atlas and how I kept my composure, just gave that tattoo a little color for you, kid. Don't lose your temper with these young kids or they're going to jump on you. So we'll see if you can use that veteran status to your advantage or if you're going to let your temper get in the way. But I can tell you right now, like I said, the contracts are in the works, and it's going to be interesting to see Justin Idol in the ring.
Wait. I'm getting popcorn. I'm going to get some popcorn and watch it.
So he will definitely. We may have to have him on the council that week. Just
great.
If we reveal that match, and I'm sure we're going to reveal that match to the fans. So we just may have to make sure he is in the council that week. So, and speaking of our fight council, we are going to move on to our second fight council reveal of the night. Another member joining our fight council. He is Christian Noir, the Bayou Scarecrow, joining the Fight Council. A rather younger member of the Fight Council. He has not been in the business maybe as long as some of the rest of us, but the man knows mind games like any other. Kind of an Undertaker, Papa Shango, Voodoo Master type gimmick that Christian brought to the table there. And when it came to mind games, when it came to getting inside his opponent's head, for me there was none better than Christian Noir. This guy could scare anybody into getting off of their game plan. And again, these young guys in the fight, in our fight divisions, you are having another member of the council that you can learn so much from. So Christian Noir, I want to welcome you to the Fight Council. I'm going to let you start off, Bubba, here. Christian Noir joining us as one of our Fight Council members.
Well, congratulations, Christian. And I actually seen him in a ring, and I actually did like his gimmick, and he had a great match. So his experience also could be added, like all us can be added to these young guys. So hopefully he can come in. And welcome.
All right, Stacy Hunter, Christian Noir joining us here on the Fight Council. I don't know if you've had an opportunity to see any of Christian's in-ring work, but let's get your thoughts on this addition to the Fight Council.
I have not gotten a chance to see any of his in-ring work. I'm looking forward to getting to see him through videos and that, and I'm looking forward to working with him here on the council.
All right, very good. Like I said, I another one of these younger guys, and me moving from in-ring competition to commentary as I've had an opportunity to see a lot of these guys, and without a doubt, Christian, he has that mindset, those mind games. QB Blitz, what do you think about a guy with such mystique to him as Christian Noir had? What do you think he can bring to the council as far as talent to help our young guys?
Well, the Bayou Bully, Christian Noir, in part of the order, he's going to bring some singles experience. He's going to bring tag team, and he's got a group that he can, talk to these young guys about how to be part of a group and how to lead. So very excited to have him on the council. Christian, welcome.
All right. Yes, Christina Ward was a member of Grindhouse for a while there, and that was a group that Shirley Doe, one of our fighters, was in. So he kind of learned under Shirley Doe as far as
that says a lot right there.
Right there.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know the mindset of Shirley Doe and the mind games that Doe can play with people. So Christian learned a lot about that. Sniper, welcome Christian to our fight council.
Yes, welcome Christian. I've only seen him a few times. I was on a show with him. Like you said, he's like the Papa Shango type. He can definitely play the mind games with the fans and definitely with his opponents. He brings the experience to the younger guys as being and not in the business that long. So they should learn a lot from him. And welcome.
All right. So, as we said, Christian Ward is going to bring a lot to this council. Every member of this council is going to bring a lot it brings a lot to the table. That is one of the reasons why they have been brought to our fight council. This group is unlike any other. This promotion is unlike any other, and that's exactly what we have going on. So, moving into the week that will be coming up with Fight Underground, we will have our next Underground Showdown. Underground Showdown number 6 will be coming up this week. And as we've seen in the past, we will have the pre-fight press conference. We will have the match itself, post-fight interviews, and then the post-fight press conference. And this is going to be another duos division matchup. And we will be seeing OSHA Inc. involved in this matchup against the team who already has their first win in Fight Underground and the very first win in the duos division, and that is Warhorse. So Warhorse against OSHA Inc. coming up this week. Same format as always, the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday format, where you'll see the pre-fight, the fight itself, and then the post-fight. All will go down, and then we'll wrap that up with the council meeting as we have every week, where we'll talk about that. So, Sniper, let's start with you right now, brother. Let's talk about this matchup.
I like to do as division because most of my career was tag team. Warhorse impressed me a lot. So if I was OSHA Inc., I would definitely study their matches even against the good guys, because good guys underestimated them. They were saying they weren't prepared, but I think OSHA Inc., if you're not prepared, Warhorse will be 2-0 after this bout.
Stacy Hunter, let's get your thoughts on the second of our duos division matchups, that being Warhorse and OSHA Inc. What do you think?
Well, OSHA Inc. is no slack of a tag team. We know what they're capable of, but they're going up against Warhorse. I don't see it being a long match, and my money's gone Warhorse.
All right. Bubba Brewer, Warhorse. You've seen them many a times yourself, and I don't know.
Very impressive, Paul. But also, everybody's got to realize that OSHA Inc. has been around the block, and they're KG veterans, and that team has won many championships. Okay, this match is not going to be like it was when Warhorse wrestled the first time. This is going to be a longer match. But I do believe, I don't know. I'm just going to go, you know what? I'm going to go crazy because this whole thing today has been, I'm going to go with a big upset. I'm going to go with OSHA Inc. based on their experience and their KG. And I see them doing something a little bit sneaky to get the big win on Warhorse. I'm going to go with that, guys. So, just my opinion.
All right, Bubba Brewer going with the underdog, basically in this matchup. QB Blitz, brother, you are a member of that famous tag team, the Tri-Chi, so you know a lot about tag team wrestling, brother. What do you think about this next duos division matchup?
This is going to be a good one. You've got the OSHA Inc. the experience. Again, that's a tag team that knows each other. They know what they're capable of. But Warhorse, man, that's a couple of big guys there, and I don't know. That's going to be a hard one for me to call, because I think that Ocean Inc.'s got him on the psychology side, But how do you prepare for two big guys like that? I mean, both of them intense. So I don't even know which way to go with that one. I'm gonna leave it at a draw right now.
All right, QB Blitz, one of our tag team specialists here on the council, thinking this one's going to be a big time draw. Again, I myself made a lot of my career as a tag team wrestler, and I have likened Warhorse before as a larger version of the Wrong Crowd. OSHA Inc., like we've all said, these guys have been together a long time. So what we're going to see here is we're going to see a battle between two teams who have been together for quite some time, who've traveled the road together, who pretty much live, sleep, eat, and train together like all good tag teams should. Now, I think this is going to be a very good match. I think it's going to be a very intense match. I've got to go with Warhorse on this one simply because, like I said, these guys, they've impressed me beyond belief. I think they're just a little bit better at what they do as opposed to OSHA Inc. I think sometimes OSHA Inc. gets a little too wrapped up in their violations and, trying to look for safety violations when they should be looking to take somebody's head off. And as we've seen in the first duos division match where Warhorse was able to make short work of the good guys, Pat the Bruiser will just punch you straight in the mouth without even thinking about it twice. So I've got to go with Warhorse on this. And at the end of the day, we will either have our second winner or we will have one winner who's 2-0. So this is going to be a big one.
This is going to be a good tag match. This match is going to be a very, very good tag match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So again, we're either going to have one team who's going to gain their first win, or we're going to have somebody 2-0 by the end of this match. And I think this one is going to be worth the price of admission. These two teams know a lot about tag team wrestling. They're very proficient at tag team wrestling. And I said, I'm still going with Warhorse, but I think it's going to come down to the team who can pull off the bigger move, for lack of a better term, as far as be that doing something behind the ref's back, which OSHA Inc. is known as, or just that raw brute power where, OSHA Inc. will just kick your teeth down your throat and pin you to the ground. So that's what this is going to come down to, at least in my opinion. So
I agree.
That's going to be something to see. Everybody wants to tune in this week coming up. Starting with Monday night, the two teams will face off for that pre-fight press conference. We've had some intense ones. I imagine this one's going to be pretty intense as well. And then, like I said, then the very next night, Tuesday night, we will see the match itself, gather up some thoughts quickly from both teams afterwards. And then after they've had some time to cool down a little bit, they'll sit before the fight council, answer questions. And at that point, we will know, is Warhorse 2-0 or has OSHA gathered their first victory in Fight Underground? So everybody make sure you tune into our programming this week, as we always have. Fight Underground is the place to be. We've been proving that weekly. Our numbers have been through the roof on all of our matches, on all of our segments that you can find on all of our social media platforms. Make sure you tune into it. Right now, we've said it from the very beginning that Fight Underground is the place to be, and we have been proving that week in and week out. And it's not only the fighters and the divisions that you've seen so far. I am getting emails and texts and phone calls each and every day from people all over the country wanting to be part of Fight Underground. This is like nothing that has ever been seen before in the world of professional wrestling. We are presenting something here where, we're going back to the sport of professional wrestling. And, my phone is ringing off the hook with people that want to be a part of this. My emails are blowing up. My texts are blowing up. As I'm sure most of the other Fight Council, we all know people from all over the country. And this is where everybody wants to be.
This is the place to be, Paul. This is the place to be with the social media, what we're doing on all these shows and stuff like that. it's unheard of. It's unheard of in professional wrestling in this area, in the United States as a whole, because there's no other company in the United States that does it like this. And I want to give a shout out to Stacy Hunter for her in-depth interview last week with the ladies of the wrestling division. So, Stacy, I just want to congratulate you on a segment well done.
Great
Thank
job,
you very
Stacey.
much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I want to say, that needed to be said this week. We've had a lot of things go on in the world of wrestling, not just with the pandemic, obviously, but with some unsavory people that have gotten into our business. A lot of old school habits. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm old school. Some of this stuff went on. I never liked it. I spoke up when I saw it. And at that time, it was unheard of. A lot of people didn't like the fact that I did that. But that needed to be said, that things like this need to be stopped in our world of professional wrestling if we're going to move forward. And I want to say to each and every one of those ladies that spoke out, and even the ones who didn't speak out on camera, but we've had conversations in the background, know this, in Fight Underground, we've got your back as far as all this crap goes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's not going to happen in Fight Underground. So if you run into something somewhere else, let us know and we'll have your back without a doubt. We're going to put an end to this. Stace, it was great that you were able to get the ladies on such short notice, I might add, together and to talk about something that needed to be talked about.
Yeah, we had an amazing panel of the ladies Sunday night, and they all told their story. We even got to hear from Scarlett, who doesn't speak that often, but she had something she needed to say. We all had something we needed to say, and I'm glad we got the opportunity.
It was a positive message for a positive company right now that we need at a positive time. So I'm all oars in. So it's all about positivity, and we'll just keep building. And this company is going to keep going up and up. I do believe that.
And like Stacy said, to hear from Scarlett, this was not girls in character. This was not girls in gimmick. These were these ladies as they truly are, outside of the ring in their personal lives, telling you what's going on. So this was not a gimmick thing. This was not a let's just jump on a bandwagon thing. This was something that had to be said. So all from the heart too. All from the heart. Exactly.
Absolutely.
So, congratulations, ladies. And like I said, no, Fight Underground will always have your back. Now, speaking of some new and exciting things that we're going to try to do, we are in discussions currently to have a Fighting Fans stream similar to the streams that you see now with both the Fight Council and Brandon K's Inside Out. Our fans are going to have the opportunity to buy a seat on the weekly shows, on these weekly streams. And on these streams will not only be members of the Fight Council, but there will be members of Fight Underground roster as well. The fans will actually get to sit down like we do each and every week, on these live streams and talk to our council. They'll be able to talk to our competitors, debate different things, ask about different topics, put out some suggestions or things that they might like to see. So this is going to be an opportunity like no other. They can even sponsor their own fights if they want to. Kind of become a matchmaker, so to speak. So this is something that's really never been done before, as far as most promotions don't open themselves up to the fans like this. Sniper, like I said, we're in discussions right now. What do you think about this idea, man?
I think it's a good idea. Get the fans' input on how everything's going, who they like, maybe come up with some kind of a match, see if it would work. All input is good now, to build on it. So I agree with it.
All right. Big Bubba Brewer, brother, you've been a promoter. What do you think about this?
Well, everybody's an armchair quarterback. You know how it goes in the booking stuff. This is something totally different. It's never been done. So we're going to do different things to actually make Fight Underground more impressive. So anything is a good thing. Always thinking outside the box is a great thing. So, hey, I'm all for everything that makes this company bigger. So I'm all about the fans first and foremost. So this should be something.
Hey, now let's face it. The fans pay our salaries without a doubt.
Yeah.
So, QB Blitz, brother. What do you think about this new unique idea that we're trying to kick off here in Fight Underground?
I think it's a good idea. When you lose, focus with the fans, let's hear what they want to say. Let's hear what they want to see. I think it's a great idea. I'm looking forward to seeing it, and looking forward. Hey, you never know who you're going to pick out of that bunch too. Might be somebody that steps in the ring someday.
You never know. Yeah, and like I said, this isn't going to be just like a send your ideas in on a text or a direct message. This is going to be their chance to actually be on the stream, to talk face to face, to hash it out. Not just throw a bunch of ideas into a mailbox. Their ideas are going to be put out there for everyone to see who follows Fight Underground on our social media platforms. Stacy Hunter, what do you think about that?
I think it's definitely an interesting idea. I'm intrigued to see how it's going to work out, but I'm really not looking forward to listening to Justin bitch and moan about the fans' opinion for God knows how many weeks.
Hey, maybe somebody will have a paint scheme for him.
There you go.
Wow.
Maybe that could be something.
I had to do it.
But Stacy, the fans that are, he's getting it. Those are the only fans that are actually talking about him, or the ones bitching about him, because he doesn't have any real fans. So he's got to take what he can get.
Yeah, we could do a whole segment on Justin's wall color, I guess. See who wants to throw their hat in the ring on that one. Maybe you can even find a painter by doing it. So how do the fans exactly get more information on this? Well, you can either direct message us on the Fight Underground Facebook page, or you can send an email to our email address, which is fightunderground2020, and that's all one word, @gmail.com. Again, that's fightunderground2020 @gmail.com, or send us a direct message on our Facebook page. So this is the way you can find some more information about this fans segment that we're kicking around, and we want to get some interest in. We want to see who's interested in being a part of this, getting in again on the ground floor, something special that's not really done anywhere today that I know of. So with that, I am going to bring this week's Fight Council meeting to a close. I want to thank my council members for joining me this week. Again, always interesting discussions that we have going on here about the week that was and the week that's coming up. Keep an eye out, watch on our social media platforms for the match coming up this week, OSHA Inc. versus Warhead, starting Monday night with the pre-fight press conference and rolling through to the match on Tuesday and the post-fight press conference with the council members on Wednesday. And then we will be back next Thursday, once again at 8 o'clock, to discuss the week that was in Fight Underground. So I would like to say once again, thank you to all for joining us, and we will see you next week.
This is a horrible idea, Paul. We shouldn't be having the fans try to get onto the show. If you saw my messages in the chat, this is a terrible idea. Only bad things can come from this, Paul. Bad idea, buddy. Bad idea. That